Mercedes-AMG Interview Lounge.
Jeff Probst just got here. We've already had to hit the dump button once.
Probst, what are you doing?
What is it with you?
I didn't even realize I said that. Oh, my bad.
You said the brown word, as we say.
My bad. Well,
Jeff,
I'm just pumped to see you guys. It's like I'm coming into a carnival. It
really is.
So colorful with the Survivor Needs Andrew t-shirts.
Yeah, we're about to make your life a living hell.
Bring it. This is one of my favorite parts of a new season of Survivor is talking to you.
Oh, you're full of crap.
No. Usually I'm in LA and we talk on the phone, and then every so often I come to New York, and then I see Andrew downstairs and he acts like nothing's up, and then I come up here and it's like, oh no, we're gonna get him on the show.
It's sort of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The Andrew thing. So, okay, first things first. Did you watch Super Bowl last night?
I did.
Did you drink? Do you drink? Are you recovering? Are you in recovery?
No.
What are you?
Oh no, I live for Friday nights.
Oh.
Yes.
I mean, I'm still lit from last night. I'm still drinking. Look, I got red wine going. You want some wine?
No, really?
Oh, yeah. So I hung out last night with the NYU hockey team. I mean, you're not gay. You don't understand. It was hot. It was amazing. Anyway, so it was a long night.
Jeff's face.
No, I'm trying to connect it. How do you end up with the NYU hockey team?
I got cash,
Craigslist?
man. I got cash. Anyway, it was a good night. So
Okay.
Where were you? Where did you watch that Super Bowl last night?
Well, I watched in my hotel room, sadly, alone. Well, I was here for the weekend with my wife and some friends, so we had a really fun weekend, and then everybody left yesterday morning.
They boarded you.
Yeah, and I'm left at the hotel.
I know, but I bet you stay in some nice hotels, like the Four Seasons or.
I'm staying in the
Ritz-Carlton.
greatest hotel.
Like it's not a Marriott Courtyard, I'm sure.
No, it's the Greenwich. It's the Robert De Niro.
So
my God!
I used to live there.
You're kidding?
Yeah, exactly. I lived there when they first opened. I lived there while I was waiting for my apartment to be finished, and then when I had to move into my apartment, I was so sad.
That hotel is killer.
Amazing. It is. It's amazing. The thing about the Greenwich Hotel is when you go into your room, there's a box of like candy bars and cookies and things. It's all free.
Yeah.
It's complimentary. You just eat all you want.
That's because it's that expensive to stay there.
Yeah, the room's like $55,000 a night. But
But you know what else is? You walk in, and normally you go up to the counter and they say, all right, I need a driver's license and a credit card for incidentals or whatever. You just walk in and they hand you your key. They go, hey, Jeff, here's your key. Literally, it took me. No.
But you're a superstar.
No, this was everyone in our party. I said, did you guys walk in and did they just hand you your key and no credit card, no ID, nothing? They said, yeah. I think they just have it figured out.
We just started a problem. All right, so if you're in New York City, just go to the Greenwich Hotel.
Yeah, I've checked out.
And just go in and tell them you're Jeff Probst. All right, okay, let's get to business. The 40th season.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like every time you're on our show, we congratulate you on being on this show for 1,000 years, and you're still there.
I know.
And it's still doing so well.
It is, and I am not blowing smoke. This is the greatest season of Survivor. It really is. We brought back all winners, but I'm just saying in general, the show continues to reinvent itself. It's become family viewing because kids get it on one level and adults get it on another level. And every year it's new people and it reinvents itself.
My gosh. 20 years ago, you stepped in it. Seriously.
Oh, dude, I did.
Okay, so
I know it.
So as our friend Andrew is campaigning to get on Survivor, you actually campaigned to become the host. So what did you do, Jeff, to get this position? I had lived in New York, and then I moved to L.A., and I was waiting for something cool, something smart, something I could really dig into. And I kept getting job offers, but they were like prompter-based shows, dating shows. Like game shows.
Just things that just didn't, I feel like I could get into. And then I heard Mark Burnett talking about Survivor on the radio. And I immediately started lobbying. And
so what'd you do? So
I met with him for 2 hours. And at the end of the 2 hours, which I thought went really well, he said, well, it was really nice to meet you. That doesn't sound good. No. So I made a message in a bottle. I wrote a bunch of articles as though the New York Times and all these different places had written about this amazing show. And every article predicted something outrageous, like change the face of television, become the most watched show in the history of summer TV, knocked Friends off the air, or Millionaire, or whatever. And all these things came true. It was this weird big prediction. And I crumpled all the edges and burnt the edges and put it in a bottle and sent it to Mark. Basically to say, because the rap against me was Regis was on the air with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and they wanted a star. They needed a name. So every time I would have these meetings for big shows, they'd go, we really love you, but, you're nobody.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh.
And then at the end of the day, Mark said, thank you for the water. Mark said, I think we need to let the show be the star and just have somebody who we think can do the show. And that was the break. Yeah.
Wow.
Good for you.
But I did lobby. I'm condensing the story, but I thought about it nonstop.
So wait,
I'll drink now.
So Jeff, have a cocktail. So if not you, who do you think would have been the host of Survivor?
Well, when I left the meeting with Mark, I went into my car and I immediately made a list of all the people I thought could get the job. And the one guy I came up with was Phil Kogan, who now hosts Amazing Race.
Yeah.
We had worked together here in New York at FX. But weirdly, 5 months later, I get a call saying it's you and one other guy for Survivor. And I walk in, and on the sign-up sheet is Phil Kogan. And I walk in the room, and it's Phil, and I went, oh, my God, I'm zoned in on this because you were the only other guy I thought of. And then Phil was wearing a suit, and I was in a T-shirt and jeans. And I thought, man, a suit for Survivor just didn't feel right.
No.
And then we both ended up getting great jobs.
Good for you. I mean, good for us. 20 years of Survivor. That's fantastic. So,
changed my whole life.
Well, so what was it like getting that call? I mean, where were you when they called and said, "Hey"?
All right, here's the crazy part.
Wait, there's a crazy part. by the way, you got to cough that up. You have some sinus drainage.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Mucinex from Jeff.
Turn the mic off for a second.
Get him some Mucinex.
Turn the mic off. My mic's off.
Well, you've got all sorts of crud. You're very productive. Anyways,
first time I'm talking this morning.
I know. Well, please,
okay.
Let me tell you.
All right.
You weren't up late with the
Here's
NYU
the crazy
hockey
part.
team.
No, I'm back now.
Okay, so
wow.
Jeff, where were you when you found out you got this gig?
The truth is...
No, tell us a lie.
I met on a Friday. Sunday morning, a friend of mine who lives here, Rich Bogle, weirdly, his sister had been in L.A., and had dinner with this guy, Gen Maynard, who was the guy at CBS that pushed Survivor and said this show, he's the guy that got it on the air. They had dinner together, and he was just randomly talking to this friend of his and said, yeah, we have this new show, Survivor, and I think we just found our host, this guy, Jeff Probst.
My God.
The sister goes, my brother knows him really well. And Gen said, you can't say anything, but she did. And then Rich called me and he goes, look, I can't say anything. And I can't believe it.
Can you imagine?
All day Monday, I'm waiting on a call all day. No call all day. No call. I go to Barnes & Noble back when Barnes & Noble was where you went. And I fall asleep. I was reading something. I fell asleep, and all I had there. I don't even think there were phones. It was texting, and I had 15 texts while I was asleep from my agent, and I called at 5:45, and he said, "Where the hell have you been? We have till 6 o'clock to say yes." And it was the least amount of money I'd ever made. And when we asked for a little more, they said, "Absolutely not. This show is going to make your client a star, and if he doesn't want it, the next guy does."
Okay, wait. Okay, how much was it? Like, you're talking about a little bit. Look, in the world of TV, they should be paying you. I'm assuming like $15 million a year. I don't know.
I'll tell you what it was. What? It was $115,000 for 16 episodes, which means $10,000 an episode.
I know, but thank God you took that.
Damn.
That's great.
And it's hard to say that because that's a lot of money.
No.
You
can't say TV, but for TV, it's not.
I know, but it gets really...
Let me tell you, we know how much money Mark Burnett makes. Yeah. Believe me. What a bargain basement price he got.
Well, that was a pretty low-level price for a big show.
But what an
Didn't
investment.
Matter to me.
As far as a talent like you, I mean, what a great investment you made. Wait, so you...
I didn't care about the money at all. The agent's job is to ask for more. What I thought was funny is we had a 15-minute window, and he said, "I'm going to go ask for a little more." And about 3 minutes later, he called back. Yeah, they said no.
I'll tell you. Can we back up? Because I'm kind of pissed off about something. Back to Barnes & Noble. I still go to Barnes & Noble. There's one open. It's down here in Tribeca. You could go there now. It's the last remaining Barnes & Noble.
But why are you pissed off? What are you mad about?
Well, because you were like, back when it was the place to go. It still is the place to go.
Well,
Jeff.
I'm saying back when Survivor started, Amazon was just starting to sell books.
Okay, talk about smart. Amazon came on and put all the bookstores out of business, and now they're building bookstores. I get
Shady.
All right, so by the way, Jeff Probst is here. Survivor Winners at War, the 40th season. It's premiering Wednesday, right? Next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday. This Wednesday, we have a really cool special. 20 years of the best moments, and we brought back the players who were in the moments and interviewed them so that they can take you inside what they were thinking inside the moment. It's a really cool special.
I have a brilliant idea. We should marry two of my favorite shows, Survivor and Below Deck on Bravo. I want to see Survivor Below Deck. Have you ever watched Below Deck?
My wife just turned me onto it flying out here. You know what's great about Below Deck? They get the people on the show to pay for it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
they pay for their crews and tip the crew, and then they get to be on TV for a weekend.
Exactly. It's genius.
It is.
You should do that. Look, I tell you, Andrew, I'm trying to get Andrew, my assistant on Survivor, his family, very wealthy.
Oh, my God.
They could afford...
Now you're talking.
Andrew, come here. We'll pay you. How much? I'll pay you your first year's salary, $115,000.
Yeah.
Andrew,
he makes a lot more now.
Andrew, come here. Andrew, so Andrew, how many seasons have we been trying to bribe Jeff Probst?
Okay, so it's
to put you on Survivor?
Yeah, it's been since 2017. So 3 full years.
Oh, Andrew.
So proud of you for all your success, by the way.
Okay.
But great to hear from you. Yeah, just, waiting. Also, I have a shirt for you. So
now,
wear
see,
it.
this is spoken from a kid who's had some advantage in life.
Yes,
because
very
he
much.
just said, I've waited 3 whole years.
In my defense, we have 10 million people listening right now, though.
It's true.
So that's an advantage.
It's true.
Hello?
We actually have more listeners than you have viewers.
Okay.
No offense.
Andrew, if you can prove that your 10 million listeners will all be watching Survivor, that's your next mission.
Well, that ain't happening. But we'll do our best.
Hello?
By the way, I gotta be honest. The only reason we invite you on this caved-in show is because we're trying to get him on your... We're trying to get Andrew on your caved-in show.
Well, and the only reason I come on this show is because you have more viewers than us. Listeners.
All right, okay.
Well, last time you were here, you kind of gave away the winner.
You did. Can I play this for you?
Wow.
Okay, so last time Jeff was on the show, Danielle asked you a question. Do we have the sound?
Yes, we do.
Here, listen to this.
Because, Tommy is a super likable. People are going to love him.
Did he
because
win?
Of what
Did
you just
Tommy
said.
win?
He does. He wins in a brutal ending.
Danielle asked the question we're not going to get an answer to.
I love you, Jeff.
Okay, look. So we asked you if Tommy was going to win.
Yes.
You said yes, and then Tommy won.
Yeah. But that, in all seriousness, that's always been the best part about doing press is that I can say yes or I could tell the truth or lie.
Right.
And I have many times said the truth, and then people go, really? And I go, no. And then it was the truth.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, because
So you knew he won at that point. Damn.
So right now, you already know who won this
I
season?
do.
So who was it? Was it Rob? Because I love
It
Rob.
was.
I was actually out yesterday with a girl who I believe is on this season. Yeah. But she didn't tell me anything, don't worry.
Well, what's her name?
Michelle.
Oh,
Yeah.
she is.
Where were you?
She didn't tell me anything. Watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Jersey
Michelle's
City.
on.
Yeah.
Michelle's great.
Is she?
She's got a chip on her shoulder this time
Is she?
because when she played the first time and she won, she didn't. The perception was maybe she wasn't as strong a player. So she comes in this time saying, blank that. I'm going to show that I can kick ass on this show. And
Does
that
she
chip
win?
on the shoulder, she also does. It's the first time we've ever had 2 winners.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a twist.
$2 million
Okay.
twice.
They split it. That's
Who do
amazing.
you think, in your opinion, has been the best player of all the seasons? Do you have somebody?
It's so hard to. I mean, one woman, Sandra, won twice.
Yeah.
So I guess you'd have to say her. But there's some pretty savvy. That is why it is so fun to watch because you do get to play along.
Yeah.
And then you get to judge the idiots for the decisions that you wouldn't have made.
Right.
And I said it earlier, but I don't know when it happened. 7, 8, 9 years ago, kids just became addicted. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids.
My kids, they're 10 and 13, and they're obsessed with it.
And I'm starting to understand more and more beyond the adventure, which is what usually grabs the kid.
Yeah.
They also deal with social politics in grade school, middle school, high school. And you see that playing out on Survivor.
Oh, yeah.
And it poses those questions to a family. What would you do if somebody did that to you?
Yeah.
Do you think after having hosted for so long that you could win if you went on the show?
You mean if I wasn't me, if I was just playing?
No.
Probably not.
No?
No, I think my lip.
You're a cushy boy. You like a good.
That is baloney. Dude, hello. Who has done a show for 20 years in the jungle, and who has done a show for 20 years in this little booth with your green shirt on? I mean, you have wine and a banana.
I'm drinking my wine, eating my banana.
You hung out with the NYU hockey team?
Oh, they're so hot.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on, Jeff.
I'll admit I'm bougie sometimes when I vacation. I can be bougie.
Yeah.
But Survivor's no bougie job.
Please, it pays the bills. Okay, let's back up. So 40 seasons, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
What if you hadn't?
God, don't know.
What if you didn't get this gig?
I know.
What would you be? What would you want to be doing right now, Jeff?
Well, I think I'd still be trying to tell stories somehow. Honestly, Elvis, that was the appeal of Survivor. Was that
storytelling?
I'd seen what Mark Burnett had done on this show called Eco Challenge, and I wanted to be able to tell stories from behind the camera. Mm-hmm. And control them from in front of the camera. When I was in high school, that's what I started latching onto. I was making little movies.
That sounds like porn.
A little bit.
Anyway. I considered that for a brief moment.
Okay.
Yeah. But and then weirdly, that is kind of what has happened is that Mark gave us the show. I'm the executive producer, so I get to be creative behind the camera, and then I get to be the guy that puts the period on the sentence in front of the camera. So it was about storytelling. Like this season is, even though it's this great game, it's still another epic season of human stories. And we have this thing called Edge of Extinction, and it pushes people to their limit. And you'll see it early on. There are people that will say, I have never in my life done anything this hard ever.
Wow.
And it's beautiful because it pushes you and amazes you. You amaze yourself because you go, I didn't think I could do that.
So you're watching lives being changed.
100%. Even though these are people that have played Survivor before, I'm telling you right now, you're going to see people going, never, ever thought I could get to this level. And they're proud of themselves. And it's delicious to watch because it's brutal. Do you want it? Because if you don't, just quit. Raise the flag and get out.
You know, the beginnings of Survivor were never this intense.
No.
Now, I mean, you guys, to be on the air for this long, obviously you have to change the game.
There you go.
And so now it's intensity.
And it's not intensity for the sake of intensity to me, because I have some say in it. It's about the spiritual. That's what it's about. Even though people will laugh, some people don't get that, some people get it. When you find yourself living in a jungle, surviving on very little, and it's dumping rain, or it's super hot or whatever, you are being tested. And then every season we amp that up, because we are capable of so much more. And that's why I like when kids watch it and go, Mom, I could do that. And I say, you think you could live in a jungle? Yes. You think you could catch a fish? Yes. You could make fire right now. They believe it, that sense of adventure.
Mine does. He's totally convinced he's going to be on the show one day.
And you know what? We're casting right now for 41. I would say 60% of the people that will be on the show watched as a kid.
Would you put Andrew on your friggin' show?
Would you put
Andrew on your show? But I got to be really honest, and we have to let you go. They have to take you somewhere else. Yeah. Where are they going next? Where are you going next?
Yeah, I don't know. I love hanging out here.
Don't leave. Out of all the interviews we've done with you, I think we've had you on probably more than anyone else.
Oh, yeah.
You are the most convincing Cadillac salesman today. You're really selling me on this show. Yeah, you really are tremendous today.
Well, wow.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
Hello.
Well, you know where I think you and I connect is that I connect to your, I think you probably put this on, but your sort of curmudgeon-y, glass half empty, but approach. You push people. So you're a good straight man or whatever to me, because you go, but I really believe this stuff. It's not a put on. I wouldn't be doing it. I could be a curmudgeon too, but I love this show and I
can
love
tell.
it.
You have a passion.
I do. I love it because I believe in it.
You're
I
want
want
slow,
to get.
though. If you called me straight, that's good.
That's funny.
No. Hey, look. Thank you for coming on today.
Thanks for having me again.
Something tells me if you miss this upcoming season of Survivor, you're going to miss something very special.
Yeah, because there's 2 winners. It's never happened before.
And we know both of them.
You know what? It is interesting. Maybe you can help me out with this before I leave.
Whatever you need.
When Survivor premiered 20 years ago, the finale was watched by 72 million.
Oh.
When the second season opened for the Super Bowl, 45 million, the second most watched post-Super Bowl show in the history of TV. But every year, every television show's ratings go down. They just continue to go down. What I can't get in my head, figure out, is how do you get the families that hear about Survivor but have never watched to watch one episode?
Yeah.
You can't leave. You can't leave. Am I wrong?
I'm right. You're 100%
It's like
right.
crack for kids.
It is. It really is. And they have taught me so much from the show. And they'll say to me, "Ma, sit down. We got to watch Survivor. Stop what you're doing. It's on right now." And they don't even like to watch it on DVR. They want to watch it when it's on.
It's an event.
Yeah.
I think
Hey,
the
by the
only
way-
way to do that is have Andrew on.
It might be.
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm open.
So I just did a search for Jeff Probst and nude. What is this?
That was 2.5 Men. An episode of 2.5 Men.
Look at this picture of Jeff Probst. Look at that.
I remember that.
Look at that.
Whoa.
Seriously.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's playing the part of the pizza delivery boy.
Do you know what I remember about that? My great wife, she said, all right, I had two things happen there. A friend of mine is a makeup artist. She said, okay, first thing you have to do if you're going to be, quote, naked, you have to shave your chest. No dude looks good with chest hair on TV ever. Trust me.
Right.
So I was like, okay.
Yo, you should.
I shaved. And my wife said, now we got to figure out what you do to get as lean and as cut for that moment as
For this
possible.
photo.
So I go in there in the morning for the shoot, and John Cryer was a friend of mine and is a friend of mine. And so I said, hey, who's the guy that will give me the truth? Which AD? And so he told me. So I called the AD and I go, listen, don't give me a 20-minute call if it's an hour. Give me a 10-minute call when it's 10 minutes. I'll be ready. I'm ready. Because right before then, I drank a glass of wine, which does something to your veins pop or something.
That's why I'm drinking it now.
Okay. And then I did a bunch of push-ups and they said, we're ready for you. And I walked out, and then you take your robe off and you have the tiniest underwear on and you're standing in front of a bunch of crew dudes.
You look great. How long ago was this picture taken?
I don't know. When was that, Lori? A few years ago?
The problem is you're covering up your immunity idol.
Barely.
If you do a search for...
Yeah, I can't.
Do a search for Jeff Probst nude, and you'll see that. Hey, listen,
Oh my gosh.
all of that aside, number one, come back and see us. Number two, put Andrew on your show. And number three, put Andrew on your show.
Yay.
Come on, make it happen.
Okay, number one, I'd love to come back. Number two and number three together. We only have 20 spots on our show.
Jeff.
Every spot is a potential winner.
Don't F
so
with me.
Andrew's not there yet. But you can't stop. And dude, I'm serious. If you really think that 3 years of applying is so me, you're not ready for our show.
How
I'm
many years
pickling
do
at this
people?
point.
15, 16 years.
Oh my gosh, 15, 16 years.
We have a woman that's going to be on next year that's applied for 19 years.
Oh my God, her
Damn.
And she
I know,
got
but guess what?
now.
Guess what? She doesn't have a far-reaching radio show. We do. Just do it. I'm tired.
Andrew knows the job. Show me the data, and I'll put you on, and I'll literally say, Andrew, you're on the show because you're bringing in an audience.
Casey Silcock, you'll be hearing from us today.
All right. What, Nate? Nate's yelling at me.
That's fine. We're fine.
No, what?
No, we're fine.
We have to let you go.
No, you know what's great about your guys' show is I'm really getting to see the architecture of the show, and it's brilliant. It is. You're only here for a minute, and then we're not going to talk about this, and it's time to go. Oh wait, one more thing. There's a photo. Okay, and there's wait one more. You guys you all play these parts.
See,
it's beautiful.
This is why we don't do TV, because TV is so structured,
Yeah.
and we can do whatever we want here.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? You want to play a game?
Let's say that I didn't want to leave, and I just said, "Can I please just stay here for an hour?"
That's happened.
Yeah, that's fine.
We've had many people say that.
Yeah.
But apparently you have to go do more press. Where are you going next? Where are you going next?
I don't talk. I listen to her.
No, really, where are you going? I'll tell people to watch.
Oh,
they got
I love
Where?
Kelly and Ryan.
Kelly and Ryan.
Oh, love Kelly, hate Ryan.
No, that's not. We love both of them.
We love them. That's a great show. Get your ass
All
out
right,
here. and go
thanks
see
for
Kelly.
having me on,
Wait,
guys.
That's a competing network. So you're on CBS. You're going to ABC. Wow. You guys are good getting Jeff on ABC. Look at you.
I don't get that stuff. I've never understood this. We
either.
won't follow anybody, and if you're not on our network, who cares anymore?
It's
Who
true.
even knows what a network is? This is so archaic.
It is. The thing is I go on Fallon from time to time, but I can't get on CBS. I can't get arrested by CBS. Your network hates me.
A little of that's me. I'm sorry.
What an asshole. Jeff, we love you. And let me tell you something. You hear the passion. Survivor, Winners at War, the 40th season. It's premiering next Wednesday at 8, 9 Central on CBS. We love you,
Flip
Jeff.
it. I think it's 8, 7.
8 Central or 8, 7
8, 7 Central.
8, 7 Central.
Whatever.
It doesn't matter. It's on. You'll find it.
DVR it. Who cares? Anyway, you're fabulous, Jeff.
Thank you, guys. This is fun.